Hello, guys, and welcome to the John C. Live Show. I've got my guest today, Mr. Paul Nash from Things to Do. How you doing, Paul?
Very well, thank you very much.
Yeah, what I've done is I've just let you know, Paul, I've shut off Instagram. It's making too much noise.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so do you want to introduce yourself, Paul, and tell them what you do, mate?
Yeah, my name's Paul Nash, and I run a local online business directory called Things to Do In. So it's things to do in London.co.uk, things to do in Essex.co.uk, and Cardiff and Southend and Ipswich and tendering and all that lot. We have just launched in Florida, so it's things to do in Kissimmee.com, and we're soon going to be doing Miami. We've also gone live this week in Nairobi. So it's things to do in Nairobi.com, which has just gone live now. And yeah, that's what we are. We're a local online business advertising directory, helping businesses to get found online and to show their business to thousands of visitors, help with their SEO, and help their business. We also advertise them on our social media. It's all about promoting business, helping them to get found. The main thing that every business wants to do is sell their products or services, and that's where we come in.
Yeah, so how would people do it if they want to do franchises and stuff like that? Tell me a bit more about that and how that
Okay, yeah,
works.
so we are selling franchises. So, someone's just bought Things to Do in Great Yarmouth and Bournemouth, and we have just recently sold Things to Do in Southend and Harlow, and I've got a lady taking Things to Do in Milton Keynes. She's coming on board today, and what that works out is that you end up having your own business in your own town, but you now have a business with no rates, no rent, no utility bills. You don't have to build the microsites, because this is what makes us unique. Every business that we advertise gets a one-page website as their ad. So they don't have to do that. And also we invoice the companies for them. So it's a no stress business to run in the town that you work in. But you imagine having a business now where you've got hardly any outgoings. We take 20% of your earnings. You get 80% as a residual income. You're helping businesses in your town to get found and to help them with their businesses. So we've got thousands of page one search terms for all different types of businesses everywhere. So that's what we do. And by the way, we're only charging pennies for the service.
Yeah, so what can you do for people if they want like their business advertised, and how can they approach you to get that done, really?
Well, if anyone's got an established business or they're starting up a business, I mean, you imagine starting up a business now, and usually you have to get a website built and that sort of thing. Then you've got to do all your social media and all these channels and get it out there. And you may do a little radio ad, and you may use magazines, and all formats of advertising are important, right? But what we'll do, we'll take care of your online stuff. This is where it's at, and we'll also advertise you on our social media. But imagine if you use a mobile hairdresser, say. You're just starting, and instead of spending a fortune, you don't mind having a big website built next year when you've got some money coming in, but you want to start now. So we charge a one-off fee for building that actual one-page website for you, but you end up with, for £100, you end up with a website that's going to be ranked and found, so through SEO and that sort of thing, and have all your information, a beautiful little site. If you have a look on our, say, I don't know, Things to Do in Southend, you'll see what the sort of microsites look like. So now you've got somebody who's just starting out their business, so they might as well use our platform. And then a year or two later, when they do get a website, we can, and not that they would need one, but then we will send a direct link from the microsite to their website, again to help with their SEO. But we cover all of that for you, and we also advertise you on our social media, and all of our towns linked together for maximum exposure. So we are unique, and I believe we're the most cost-effective form of advertising anyone can do, any business can do.
Yeah, so have you got any examples of, like, say, someone can type in, say, for example, Google or anything like that?
Yeah, so someone went on Google now and they typed in, say, Muslim hairdresser London, or if they typed in vehicle transportation London, or if they typed in telephone answering services Essex, or tropical fish Harlow, or car body repairs Clacton, or house clearances tendering, or so on and so on and so on. So that's what we're doing, helping business to get found online.
Yeah, so what made you start Things to Do in the first place?
Well, do you know what? It's a funny story. And if I try and do it really quick, I used to have a business in Orlando in the year about 2000. I lost it all anyway. But while I was there for a couple of years, I was paying $400 a month, I think it was, to be listed in a directory, a paper directory called Sprint, which was about 3 times thicker than our Yellow Pages. And in them couple of years, I never got any business from it. So when I come back, I lost it all, by the way. Come back, had to start all again. So you know, I know exactly what it's like to lose everything and to have to start again. It's a very stressful time, and I've been doing talks on that as well. But anyway, so ended up after a few years, went through a couple of businesses. I ended up getting a zoo, owning a zoo in Clacton-on-Sea in a Martello Tower. It's a children's zoo. And I said to my wife, we're never going to make that mistake again, because you know what? So many businesses actually have a business up and running. They'll be paying £500 a month for the radio ads. They'll be paying hundreds for their, you know, newspaper ads. They'll be doing their website and spend £2,000 on that, and they'll do this. But they'd never ask their customers how their customers find them, so that you know exactly where to put your money in your marketing, right, and where the budget should be spent. And all it is a matter of making sure you check with all your customers. So anyway, I didn't want to make the mistake I made in Florida. So I said to my wife and my son, who was running the zoo, that every person who comes to the zoo we just ask them the first question: hi, how many of you are there? Secondly, would you like any food to feed the animals? And the third question used to be, how did you hear about the zoo? And after 3 years, my wife was just ticking down, been before, local, recommended, seen the sign, and internet. And after 3 years, I opened the book up one day, and it was just all tick, tick, tick. The biggest audience of people coming to the zoo was from the ticking internet. The next lady who walked up, I remember saying to her, hi, you know, doing the other questions. And then I said, how do you hear about the zoo? She said, internet. I said, can you remember what your search term was? She said, yeah, we just typed in things to do in Clacton. So the next person, same. The next person, everyone who said internet, that was their search term. So I went home that night and I clicked on things to do in Clacton, because I said to my wife, listen, we've got to advertise on things to do in Clacton. Everybody's coming from there, right? And when I typed that in on Google that night, up come TripAdvisor #1, Day Out with the Kids #2, and we was advertising with both of those companies, and that's how people were finding us. But there was no things to do in Clacton. I checked on Southend, there was none. I checked it everywhere, and there was none. So I ended up buying them all around the world. And I must say that things to do in is the largest search term by far for people visiting a new town, city or country. But we've turned the directory into about 90% is all about helping businesses. So, you know, like I said, if you've got a tropical fish shop in Harlow, you want to be found for tropical fish Harlow, right? And depending on what your business is. So that's what we've sort of evolved into.
Oh, no, I think it's a marvelous platform that you can give people, really, on that. So tell me a bit more about the franchises then, Paul.
Yeah, well, the franchise is really, you know, I'll tell you how the model was developed. The franchise model is being developed for someone like the guy that took things to do in Southend, who lives in that area. You can go out and start talking to businesses, and that's how we used to do it, all through field sales. So, example, if I went into Cultures Rye Street, I'd go into a hairdresser's, then I'd go into the DIY shop, then I'd go into a pub, then I'd go into the clothes shop, the shoe shop, and that's how I used to do it, face-to-face field sales. Obviously, COVID has changed everything. So now we do it through Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, telesales, emailing, and a massive one lately that's been a game changer for me is social media called Clubhouse. So those are the ways that we're actually doing it at the moment. And what that's done, it's changed things. So our things to do in Kissimmee.com, which has just gone live, I haven't actually been there. So I've been listening to businesses from where I live in Clacton, in Kissimmee, without actually going there. So this now makes this franchise opportunity a business that you can actually do from home, doing the hours to suit yourself, you know, and that's what it's turned out to. And also, it's only 20%, the 80% you get paid into your bank as a residual income. So every time you put a business on, that company's paying you for that service. And so you're really helping businesses in the town, in the town where you are, and you're also earning a great residual income for yourself. And then you can just keep building it up, building it up. And that's how the franchise works. But you could actually, thinking about it now, you know, if you live in a town in London, just say Chelsea, Whereas before you'd have had to take a thing to do in Chelsea, or a thing to do in Kensington, or a thing to do in Canary Wharf or Camden Town or wherever, or Leicester or Manchester, wherever it is. But now you can actually have a franchise that you can run in another town that's not where you live, and even another country. So if you grew up in Ireland and you know everyone in Ireland, but you're living in the UK now, why not take things to do in Dublin? Do you understand? And that's how it could be anywhere in the world.
Yeah. So what about your? I've seen it online about the telesales commission-based role you've got. Tell me a bit more about that as well.
Well, that's it. We're looking because we've sort of adapted now, and we are doing it for telesales. Yeah, we are looking for some people to work on a commission-based doing telesales. Again, they can work from home. There's a fantastic commission rate for them, and they can call businesses up and get them on board, and they'll earn a good little wage themselves. So we are looking for that. We're also going to be using the government Kickstart scheme, and that's really the way we're doing it at the moment. So, you know, it's just like me. I used to travel when I launched Cardiff and here, there, and everywhere, Peterborough and all different places. I used to have to travel to them places all the time. Well, now it's all through Zoom. So, you know, you can actually work from home, and it's obviously at these times it's very safe to do all your meetings like we're doing right now.
No, I just think it's amazing what you're doing. Also, the good thing about it as well, they get full training as well. So you train
ongoing support. So anyone who takes a franchise, it's a great career, great opportunity, and it's a great opportunity to expand as well. So, you know, if someone took, say, just an example, say someone said, Paul, I'd like to take things to do in, let's just say Camden Town, then there's no reason why after 6 months or a year they could take Kentish Town. And if they got Kentish Town, they could take somewhere like Holborn and just keep increasing it and growing, you know, and taking whole areas. Maybe take a whole borough like things to do in Haringey. You might have to have the whole borough, so that would come under Tottenham and Crouch End and Muswell Hill, and you know, take the whole. So there's great. I mean, I'm also looking for people to take countries. So I've got a guy at the moment who's interested in taking the whole. It's called a master franchise, where they'll take the whole of Bulgaria, or they might take Romania, or wherever. Like the lady that's taking Nairobi at the moment. Then we're going to go to Ghana. Then it's going to be Cape Town. Then it's going to be Nigeria, and we're going across that way. You know, we're also launching in Kathmandu. I was out in Nepal twice the year before last, you know, sorting things out there. So that's how it's going. It's a great career opportunity for someone who's confident, someone that wants to earn great residual income, wants to grow, and is interested in and happy to talk to people. You know, someone who's got a bubbly personality, someone who's, you know, this job will suit. Some people like really manual work. But this is, you know, this is a business where you're networking on Zoom, you're on Clubhouse, you're on Instagram. You know, it's a very people-friendly sort of business. Do you know what I mean? If you like talking, this is a great opportunity for you.
No, I just think it's remarkable the sort of services that you offer. And I think you should tell the people as well about the ice cream story, the ice cream van hire.
Yeah. No, it's just a lady that's been with us who actually hasn't got a website, but she's ranked highly on many towns, and she's got a great career. She started one ice cream van, she's now got 3, and she's page 1 for ice cream van hire in many towns across Essex. In fact, maybe every town in Essex, including Essex, for ice cream van hire. So, you know, it's all about helping business. It's not just that, John. We're helping all different types of businesses. Do you know what I'm saying? So remember, we're actually posting about their business on our social media, and from the one-page website we build them, which makes us unique, we also link to their social media, so they're getting double bubble sort of thing. Everything we do is about helping your business get found and make sales of your products or services. That's what we're doing.
No, I just think it's great, because the reason why I asked that question is because it brings on to my next question, which is, how can people, what sort of advice can you give people if they want to start their own business up from business idea to start it?
Yeah. Well, I've made so many mistakes. Even with this, I've probably lost about £80,000 in mistakes, and that's a fact over the last 4 or 5 years. You know, by doing silly things, trusting people, and you know, it's like a company I use for my franchise to get my franchise started. I lost 10 grand to them. You know, they didn't provide anything that they said they was going to do, and that sort of thing. So when you're starting a business, if you want some good advice, and anyone's welcome to ring me at any time, and you can find my numbers on my sites anywhere. Number one, make sure you do your research on anything you're doing. So, you know, if you do need someone to do your social media, if you do need someone to do your website, don't just take the first one. Make sure you ask people, find people that have actually used that service or product before and get recommendations. Don't take it upon yourself just because you've just found them yourself and you're ringing them up and you take the first offer, right? So make sure you do your due diligence on that business, because if someone's going to charge you 3,000 for a website, just say you're doing an e-commerce website, 3,000. I'm sure if you look around and ask, you'll probably get that same thing for 1,200 or 1,500, that sort of thing. So you must make sure you do that. Two, you want to make sure that you know where to advertise. So my advice would be, look at all the different channels. Don't go mad on and don't just pick one. You know, multiple. I believe all advertising is good advertising as long as you're not being ripped off. You know, so as an example, when people advertise on the radio, just say you live in Clacton and you've got a local radio station there. You've got to remember that when you're advertising and paying this money out for that radio station, you've got to take in consideration that there'll be a lot of people that will be listening to Heart and Virgin and Capital and you know, all of these other Radio 2, Radio 1, this and that. So you're not going to get many people that are listening to others. Also, everyone who works who's working Tesco, or they work here or they work there, can't listen to the radio. So, you know, if your customers are more older type people, then maybe you'll use the local magazine, because, you know, they're probably not using although now they call them, I think, silver surfers. There's a lot of older people using computers now. They've had to because of COVID. The way they've communicated with their families, the only way they can communicate. I'm actually doing that with my mum now. She's in a home. So a lot of older people have actually learned to use the internet. So it's not as true as it was a couple of years ago when I would say, yeah, make sure you use a little local magazine, because that's what they've always been used to doing. So, you know, if it's a younger person, then maybe you've got to be on your Instagrams and your Facebook if that's your audience. So do some research, check out other businesses, what they're doing, do all of that sort of thing, and don't just jump in there. And the number one thing is, when you do get your business up and running, ask your customers how they found you. Nobody does it. Honestly, it's so important, because now you know where to advertise. So there's loads of things like that, you know, and if anyone, you know, getting logos designed, and there's just so many things, even the products you're getting, making sure you've got the right place, that you're getting them at the best price. And, you know, it's all these sort of things. So if anyone needs any advice, you're always welcome to give me a call and have a chat.
Yeah, because what I've done is on the screen for the people that are watching, because there's a few people watching on the screen. At the bottom, it's got your web address. It's got Paul's email address, which is paul@thingstodoinltd.co.uk. His number is 0781 6605 435. And you can call him anytime. The number's there, guys. You can just replay the video back if you want the number again. It's all there for him. And I recommend, guys, you get behind him, because I think it's fantastic what he does. And that's one of the reasons why I liked it that much, that I'm taking things to do in Hastings.
No, that's true.
Because I know the model works, you know.
Yeah.
So I ask anybody to check it out. And
I think if you're giving value to people and you're happy to help them, I mean, anyone who's starting a business, it's a real hard time. I think about, I don't know the exact statistics, but I know it's something like about 7 out of every 10 businesses will fail, something like that. Don't hold me to that, because I'm not 100% sure. But a lot of businesses that start up in a year's time, they're not there. And a lot of that is because they've made some errors. So there's an old saying, learn by your mistakes, but trust me, it's learn by other people's mistakes. It will save you so much time and effort, and finding the best ways to go to market, and that, and also finding good products and services too. If you were thinking about starting a business, you know, maybe look in America, you know, and check out businesses over there, because a lot of them sometimes, you know, they take off over here. So sometimes it's good to look in other countries and find something that might work over here if you're thinking of what shall I do, because I know so many people have lost their businesses now. You know, a lot of my customers have lost their businesses. Everyone has, and it's a real bad time. I've had that experience. I lost everything in the States, everything. Had to come back, you know, I had to send my wife and kids back 3 months before, and had to stay there to sell what I could. redeem from that business and come back very stressful time. You know, I thought that was it, finished, let my family down. And we all go through these times. You know, business is like this. Honestly, it's a pure roller coaster ride. Even with me, I've been working for, you know, the last 5 years, 24/7, trying to build this business up. I've been through all of these ups and downs, and I'm still going through them now. You know, you've got to be prepared for that. That's what it is. There's another thing as well, you know, if you can, a bit of advice I would say, the reason I lost everything in America, because I had all my eggs in one basket. So I was working, I had a cleaning company, 50% I was cleaning for all the Americans in Orlando, you know, wealthy Americans there. And the other half was for a company, I won't even mention their name, but they used to do all the show homes on all the building sites. So I used to clean all those. And that was 50% of my business. And they dropped me one day without any warning, just dropped because someone had come in and offered them, I found out, a drink, to give this guy a drink, and he just dropped me. You know, he didn't really know me, but we never let him down in all the years we was cleaning for him. Even if me and my wife had to go at 10 o'clock at night, we never did. But that's the repayment I got. And so, you know, a lot of top entrepreneurs will say, try and have a few different streams of income, just in case. You know, if you rely solely on one product or what, you know, you get a lot of businesses. I met a guy, I won't say what business he's in, but in Clacton, worked for a really big worldwide company, and his whole business was all on them. And, you know, when it got dropped, he was done. So, you know, you could try, if you can, to have a couple of different revenues of income, and that's another way. And also, I think they say that most of these really well-to-do entrepreneurs have got 7 different streams of income. You know, but just saying, it's a good theory to practice.
See, because I think, like, with you showing your story would actually help others, because it proves that you can have it all, lose it all, creep your way back up and get it back again. So it proves, you're living proof that you can have it, lose it, getting it back.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
Anybody can do it.
And that's it, and that's a big thing to remember. And all, like, I've done a talk on Clubhouse the other night on mental health with businesses, because it is so stressful running a business. Sometimes you feel it's all on your own, you're all on your shoulders. You really, you know, really can get yourself down, and losing everything that's beyond your control. COVID was beyond anybody's control. You understand? So, you know, these things happen, and not just that. There's many reasons why your business can go all right. And, you know, it's like, and as an example, to another thing, with my zoo, my wife and my son used to run that, really. My wife was doing most of it. She ended up getting cancer. She had a double mastectomy, come out of the thing. She couldn't work. All her energy was gone. And that was the zoo finished. So I'm just saying, you know, we never know what's around the corner and what's going to hit us. And, you know, you've got to be prepared for these things. So in business, be prepared. There is ups and downs. Some people do make it and fly. And you know, it all goes that way, all right the way from the beginning. Say like Amazon, things like that. They start off learning it all, but majority, 90% of us will go real down and back up and real down and maybe lose it and have to start again. You know, that's happened to me a few times over the years. But you know, there is always light. And when it comes to mental health, you've got to be careful. And this is why I say, you know, I say this to a lot of people. When you're running a business, it's also to keep yourself fit and have some downtime. You know, sometimes there's a saying that says, do as I say, not as I do, because I'm quite guilty with this myself, always working. But, you know, going for a walk in the morning, clearing your mind, making sure that you're relaxing and getting a bit of time out, because otherwise, if you get ill, if you get mentally ill and depressed and stressed and all that lot, then you can't do nothing for your business. It's just like when you're on a plane and all of a sudden gets into trouble, the oxygen mask drop down. They tell you, put it on yourself. Don't put it on your kids first or your husband or whatever. Put it on yourself first. Then you can help the others. Now, if you let mental illness, which happens a lot, man, trust me, take a hold of you and you get depressed and down and all that sort of thing, then no one else can't provide family and everything else. You've let this get you down. So, you know, watch out for them signs, and there's many signs to watch out for. And again, if anyone's feeling a bit rough, they're welcome to give me a call, because I've been through it. Trust me, I know the signs. And so now you must make sure you get your mind clear every day. Walking is one of the best things, or go and have a game of golf or do some martial arts or whatever it is. But make sure you have some downtime, because otherwise you won't be performing at the best for your business.
Yeah, because I think that's really solid advice, really, guys, for the viewers and stuff that are going to watch this back and who are tuned in now. Coming from Paul himself, that if you got a business idea, some people have a business idea and think, it's probably rubbish. I ain't going to do anything. But then that could be that one idea. If you do it right, could make you millions.
Yeah.
You might think it might sound rubbish on paper. If you feel like that, just give Paul a call. Give Paul a call and he'll tell you if he thinks it's viable or not, or what you could do to try and achieve that in a different way.
Yeah.
You never know. It's kind of cool,
Listen, it's all about help, man. If you've got, you only need about 5 or 6 real good people that can help you out. I mean, I met a lawyer the other day. He's redesigned my franchise agreement. His name's Nicola. Really great guy. I was speaking to him. He gave me so much advice for my business. Although it was all about the franchise, he's given me loads of other ideas because, you imagine I think he was a barrister for years and he's done this and he's done that and he's got so much stuff in his head. And that's what it is. It's always feeling free to ask people. If someone says no, so what? Ask and try and get the advice from people that have been there, people who've got the experience. Don't ask your family member who's never had a business or never run it, working, say, in Tesco, and say, what do you think I should do? If you're doing a certain type of business, find people in that field. And this is what Clubhouse is really good for. I don't know if anyone listens to this, but one of my biggest advices now is to get onto Clubhouse. I think you have to be invited, and I think it has to be through iPhone at the moment. It's a new social media platform that's only audio, not film and pictures and whatnot. But there's a lot of people there giving free advice and really helping people, and great value. So, and there's all different subjects and you can talk to people in all different countries. And because it's audio, you can get on with your work and just listen. So you don't have to keep picking it up like what you would on a WhatsApp group or Instagram or doing this and that. So, yeah, that's a good bit of advice. I think that's a fantastic platform. It's really shot off and doing really well.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you can have more sales from that sort of platform than you would buying an ad somewhere.
Yeah. And I think, but with a business, it's all about the ROI. That's the return of investment. If it doesn't matter if someone's spending £1,000 a week, but they're getting £1,200 back, then it's worth it, right? So, it's the ROI in everything you do. In your advertising, in your marketing, whatever it is, So as long as you're getting more back, it's worth that. That's it. That's the important word to look for. So when you're looking for different services and products, that's what you're looking for in your business.
Yeah, someone called Ikram Trip said, "Hello, Paul."
Hi.
I don't know where you're from.
Digitally.
Yeah, no, because obviously I was always taught one thing in business. Yeah, you're going to get so many no's, but out of the blue you'll get a yes. Not everyone's going to say yes first time. No, you're going to get people saying no, but you don't use them no's as being disheartened because you will get a yes, and then it'll start picking up as yes, because nobody in business can say they can go out there first time and get the first one, bam, because that don't happen. In a million years.
Well, to tell you one thing now, John, right? I teach martial arts. I've been teaching Wing Chun for 32 years. It's a very big thing. There's a few big principles in there. And one of the principles in that martial art is the shortest distance between two objects is a straight line, right? There's another big principle in that art is finding a path of least resistance. Now, I put a lot of these into my business. A lot of the principles I've learned through Wing Chun, I put into my business. So, it's very important when you want to talk to someone, you get the right person. You don't want to end up talking to the gatekeeper. So that's someone who's going to be very negative. You need to get to the right person. So rather than spend all that time talking to the wrong people, do your due diligence, check them out, find out on LinkedIn or whatever, and speak to the right people. It's all about finding the right person, and going straight to them direct and in a nice way. And also people like you when you actually add value. It's not just, you don't want to just be about me, give, or take. Sorry, I got that word around the wrong way. But it's about someone that's, willing to listen to you as well. And when it comes to sales, you've got to have something of service, of benefit to that person. If it's of benefit and the ROI is great, etc., etc. You know, they say this, right? I actually had a word with a lady yesterday on Clubhouse who was talking about this, and she said, yes, you know, if you're selling a product or service, the people have got to learn to trust you. It's all about building relationships, it's all about trust. Yeah, fair enough in certain aspects, but if you've got a good product and it's at a good price, if I walk into a shoe shop and there's a pair of shoes at a good price and I like them shoes, I'm not worried about the trust and the value and all them sort of things. I want that product because it's a great price and I like the look of it and it's a good thing. So it's not all about the trust and everything, which so many people say, no, you've got to build a big relationship up. You've got to know this person for months before you can do any business. No, if you've got a good service, a good product, people will want it and they'll be happy to pay for it because they know it's good value.
No, I just think really like it's actually been like good to have you on and you can share some of your experiences, some of your highs, some of your lows, and the people that are watching this as well. I hope they get something from it because like you're not just only doing the advertising side of it, you're more than happy to give up your time and help people who want to start out in business to launch their business.
Of course.
Because they might want, I don't know, can you find them a business mentor or can you sort this out for them? And I'm pretty sure you'll go out your way and you'll help them. You know what I mean? They just give you a call and
that's my nature. You know, even when I had my zoo, and as you know about my directory, I charge £30 a month. It is going up a bit in the 1st of April because otherwise I'll be ruined. But for what we do is unbelievable value, less than half a cup of coffee. When I run my zoo, just going to give you an example about this. When I run my zoo, I used to charge £3 to get in. And I had a very well-known businessman in that same town said to me, Paul, you should be charging £10. Why are you charging £3? And I said to him, because people can come here a couple of times when they're on holiday in Clacton and come back to the zoo. They can afford a family of 4 can come to my zoo for £12. All right. And when you offer that sort of value, and most people that come to my zoo was in there for 2-3 hours, fantastic value. But that when they go back, they tell their friends, they mention it, you know, this is it. You don't want them going back and saying, flick, you know, it's so expensive to get in there. If you go up there, don't go in there. You know what I mean? You're ruining yourself. And that's why I've lost through this COVID, I've lost hardly any customers at all because of my pricing structure. You know, that's what it's all about. It's pennies. Keep it cheap. Oh, I hate to use that word. Sorry, cost effective is the right word to use. And then, you know, if someone's getting value from you, they'll be with you for years, and that's how you develop it, and that's how I work.
Yeah, because you expect like with business directories like yourself, you expect like places like pubs and stuff like that to leave because they've been shut for over a year. They've got no income there. Like done, you know, like ruined.
Well, do you know what? I'll tell you straight. I've had 3 pubs say to me, "Can we be put on a furlough?" And you know how many pubs they've got with me. You know, if you type in. If you go on and type in now, eating out Essex or pubs and clubs Essex, you'll see what I mean. But when you know, I only had about 3 pubs say to me, can we just be put on a furlough for a free, well, not furlough, but for 3 months, you know, not paid because of this. And that's it. And I said, yeah, you've been with me a few years. Of course, I'm going to try and help you, you know, but I've got to try and survive myself, right? But yeah, I did. And I had one of the attractions asked to cut their thing down into half, although we only paid pennies anyway. And yeah, of course, you know, I'll bend over backwards to help people. And because the thing is, when you've got someone who's with you, they're actually, you know, we're all working together. We're trying to do the best for them. We've got to survive as well. That's why I'm not driving around in no Rolls Royce, right? But we've got to try and survive as well. But if we keep it that way and people realize what you're doing for them, they'll be with you for years. You get other companies that will just try and fleece you for their service because it's a one time, bang, 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 and they don't think about the future. They don't think about, you know, what's going to happen in the future. Also, another point, thinking about that, there's another thing to mention. There's no contract with us at all. So anyone who comes on our sites or advertise on any of our towns in London or wherever they are, there is no tied into no 12 months, 18 months or 24-month contract. Because again, I believe that if you join a gym in January and in March for some reason you can't carry on and they're taking that payment until Christmas, until next January, you're only going to have bad things to say about them. And I think if you're not providing a service or they're not happy with your service, let them go. Don't try and tie someone into it. that's usually saying that, you know, you're going to fleece them and all that lot. So there's no contracts either. So, you know, this is what it's all about.
No, I think that's great advice on that, because like I'm not really a fan of these companies doing that, where they charge you and they put you in a contract. You can never get out of the contract when you're in it. You know, you get an 18-month contract. You might have got something 18-month contract, but then say you might have come down your bad luck and lose something.
Yep.
You're still paying that phone contract for 18 months. You can't get out of it at all.
Yep. Yeah, no, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I think really what you offer is, especially as well, like not only do you get advertised on the website as well, but things to do in actually promotes you on social media as well. So you get that exposure as well, online, on the listing, plus social media like Facebook.
And we link to theirs. Don't forget that. So from that actual site, we link to their social media. So you know, we'll link to their Facebook and their Twitter and whatever else they've got. So we're also promoting that. So, you know, I honestly believe there's no more cost-effective form of advertising in the UK than what I do. I'd like someone to show me something. So that's what we, you know, for the price that we charge and for the services that we offer, you know, and yeah, it does take a lot longer to make money for me because, you know, I think I told you, John, I've got untold websites around the world. You know, I've bought them all everywhere. So, you know, like I said, we're launching Miami, then it's going to be the Keys, then it's going to be Tampa, then Orlando, and then the rest of Florida. But while we're doing that, we're also going to be launching in, you know, like I said, Ghana and all this up, and Kenya, and, you know, and all of these countries I've had to pay for to buy them individually, and it cost me a fortune. And that's why, and that's why I make hardly any money out of this myself. I'm better off taking a franchise. I said it to my wife all the time. I wish I just had a franchise, because I could just have that town, say Colchester or Chelmsford or something, and just earn a great living and not have this worry of all this, what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm building something up for the future, you know, and that's what it's all about, and helping businesses. When people realize what we're doing,
yeah,
you know, it's all about word of mouth as another big advertising thing. So yeah.
See, it's good because, like, even though you're only doing like the Florida bit at the moment, but somebody could email you or contact you out of the blue and say, Paul, can I take things to do in Manhattan, please? Or can I take Connecticut? Or can I take North Carolina? So just because he's just doing Florida, if there's anybody watching from any other part of the States, you can still take it. He's still got it. He can give it to you. It could be things to do in Raleigh, things to do in San Francisco. They're all available, guys.
Texas.
So Dallas, Houston, they're all there. You know.
Yeah, it could be. You know,
basically every state in the States you can have if you want. You can even have Alaska if you want it.
almost, not every thing, but almost, yeah. So it's there, you know, and it's a great little business opportunity for someone. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're, like I say, if you know, if you're a bit nervous, you're not really an outgoing person, then it's probably not for you. It's for someone, you know, likes talking to people and you know, and likes helping people and that sort of thing, you know, and may want to work from home, and that, you know, it's for that type of person, you know. So, and if you haven't got too much knowledge about SEO and the internet and social medias and all them sort of things, we're going to give full training anyway. And also we can take the payments over a longer period, so we can help with the finance and everything else. So, you know, there's always help, and there's always ways around getting one of the franchises, you know. Yeah.
So no, I just want to thank you, Paul, for coming on and sharing your experiences and your time and just sharing your business, you know.
Yeah, no, thanks for inviting me, and I'm always happy to talk. And like I say, I do mean that to anyone. If anyone wants to call me for any advice, nothing about buying anything or doing anything. I'm talking about if you just need a bit of advice, welcome to give me a call anytime, and we'll have a chat, see if I can help you. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, usually when you're helping someone else, you learn something else. You know, it's like my students. When I'm teaching them, I'm always learning something for them, because you're like, come and do this. So actually, when you're teaching or mentoring or helping, you'll always get something back. So it's a good thing to do.
You'll put it this way, right? I even learned something from you. Before, I always thought years, and now this is a message to everyone on here as well. I thought I could sell ice to an Eskimo and it was easy, but I was doing it the wrong way. But since I've been doing some stuff with Paul and he's been teaching me the right way, things open up for you more better. Because I saw it as though I was invincible. I could just sell ice to an Eskimo and anyone will buy it. But it doesn't work like that in business, man. You've got to do it the right way. And I thank you for that because I've learned a lot from you. A hell of a lot from you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And so, yeah,
I've learned a few things from you and all, so it's not all one way. So yeah, everyone can learn from everybody about everything. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? So it's all good. And like I say, I've had quite a few different businesses over the years, and so I've had my experience, like many of us have. Like all entrepreneurs have had all these ups and downs and different types of business because we're always trying. We're always trying and we're always growing, and that's it. You're always trying to go. It's like even with my students. They're all of a sudden they'll be go bang bang bang, and they're really getting to a great level, and then they'll have a couple of months of really plateauing, and it feels like they've been training for the last because I've had experiences the last 3 or 4 months and I haven't got no better at all. But you don't realise till you reach the next plateau that you've realised how high you've come. And it's same in business. 6 years ago, if you said to me SEO or I'd have thought you'd have meant SEO. If you'd have said ROI, I thought you'd have meant Roy. You know what I mean? It's like I wouldn't have had a clue. So you have to learn these things to better yourself, and that's it. When I took my business in Florida, the cleaning company, I never had a clue about cleaning. I had to go to college for 2 years to get my sitting guilds in that, so that I could get that business in Orlando. But without that, I couldn't go there. I had to have my sitting guild, so I had to go and study and do all that training on a subject that I weren't too happy about either, just so I could get that business. There was so many sacrifices in business, but it's all about growing. All right.
Yeah. So how can people find you on social media, Paul? What's your social media, like Instagram, Facebook?
Paul Peter Nash on Instagram, or they can go on to any of our TTDIs. So it'd be TTDI Southend or TTDI Clacton or Essex or London or whatever like that, or they can go onto the actual sites. My contact information's there, and I've got 2 other ones that would be good for people to check out if they're interested. Things to do in franchises.co.uk. So that's my franchise site. Tell you all about it. If you see the price in there, don't worry about that. Always talk to me. And secondly is things to do in.co.uk. That also tells you all about the business in a different way. So or you can go to the actual sites. So it's that's it.
And he's also on LinkedIn as well.
Yep, everything, and Clubhouse. Join Clubhouse and see me in there. Follow me in Clubhouse. That's really. I'll tell you. I honestly recommend that new social media because it is fantastic. It really does help. So it's called Clubhouse. It's an audio social media, but it really is fantastic. Especially if you're starting a business, you can get so much help there, and you can always call me.
Yeah. So what I'm going to put to you, Paul, as well, and to the people that are watching as well, that maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks or something like that, we'll get you to come back on. And if people want to, I'm going to try and sort it where people can call in live and they can speak to you.
Oh, I'd love that.
I'll put the number on the screen, my number on the screen. You guys call and then you can call him directly, and it'll be different shows. It'll be like a half an hour show of how to set up a business. If you want to call in, you want advice, you want help, he'll tell you it. He's there. If you want help with something else, he'll help you. And if Paul's in agreement with that, we'll do it once every 2 weeks or something. We'll get Paul back.
No, I'm definitely in agreement with
that. To you guys, you know what I mean?
And I will just say a name that I'm tagging on myself is the uneducated entrepreneur. So I left school at 14. Sometimes when I'm writing letters out, I have to get my son. He'll do all the commas and the full stops and all that sort of thing. So that's what I'm trying to label myself as, the uneducated entrepreneur, because I never had that. So it's not about having all about having that great education, but it's about trying and listening and learning. Same with sales. When you go in there and you're bang 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 bang, the person's you've lost them straight away. You need to hear what they're doing. To help someone in advertising, you need to know what their products and services are, and you need to and figure out what's the best avenue of marketing for them. But sometimes when you're just all about sell, listen, I've got the best product, I've got this, do this, do this. I've learned this myself. You know, nobody's interested. You've got to listen. You know, that's why we've got a tourism have. So you know, it's about listening, finding out what they need, how they're advertising, what the product is or services, providing that and helping them. That's the way to do it. You know, this is a big thing in sales. So you know, there's loads of stuff we can share.
Right, you've got one question here, Paul. Someone's put, Mr. Paul Nash, why don't you write a business book?
Yeah, maybe I should do. Yeah, do you know what? I actually am. I do want to actually write a book because I was talking to my friend who has actually done one. But you know what? I haven't really got the education to do it the way that a lot of people would like to see it. So you know, but I could get a ghostwriter and someone like that. But maybe in a couple of years' time, we'll do something like that. But yeah.
And somebody else says hi as well. I don't know if it's one of your friends, Steve Daly. You know him?
I think there's Steve Daly who lives in Clacton. Does he live in Clacton?
Steve, do you live in Clacton, buddy? He's got a picture of a seafront on his picture.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, I know Steve. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I know Steve. Yeah.
He's here. He just said hello to you, Paul.
Yeah, I know his dad well. All right, Steve. I didn't know Steve would be watching this, but yeah, nice.
Well, while you were talking, I shared it to 50 groups, so it's everywhere. That's why keeps in 6 people watching, 20, back to 2, back to 15. It's just in and out. So no, but I just think that might be the best thing to do. Is like once every 2 weeks, get you to come on one particular day, like a Monday evening, so at the same time all the time, like 7 o'clock Monday, 7 o'clock the next Monday. So then people can just. But then what we'll do is, if we're in agreement, at the end of the show, we'll ask people what they want to do, the topic about the next time. So it could be how to launch a business. Okay, then the next one could be how to start your business. Could be where can I source funding. So then it gives you time to prepare the show.
Yeah, and exiting. I mean, a lot of people start a business and they're planning to exit it in 3 years' time, and you know, there's all of those parts, and you know, there's a lot of when you start a business, there's a lot of stress and all. This is a really important thing to mention. The mental stress that's involved in running a business, because a lot of people are not prepared for that, and they just start a business. They get themselves in real deep, or should we say balls deep, and you know, they've put a couple of years into it, and they're really stressed out, and they're not looking after their mental health, and this can be a real bad thing. So many people can lose it mentally, you know, and next thing they're having a nervous breakdown. I've been through that, by the way. So I've had all that experience. That's why I was doing a talk the other night on Clubhouse about that. But a lot of people don't realize that that's associated massively with business, and especially losing your business. And so many people are going through that right now, and you feel like you're on your own. Every time you do something in a business, you always feel like you're on your own. You know what I mean? And it's good to talk to people to get you through that. You know, it's just like, as an example, I know I keep going back to the martial arts thing, but I was a doorman for 22 years in North London. And, you know, when I remember when I first started on the doors, and we'd have a big group of guys, and they're going to come up and they're jumping out of a van and they're running up with weapons and that. And I feel my legs start shaking. And all that sort of thing. And I used to think I was a coward. And then I used to shit myself that one of the other doormen would see my legs shaking and all this sort of thing. So I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't know what was happening to my body, and that my body was getting me prepared for that fight and flight, and the adrenaline that's rushing through, and blood getting around your organs to protect them, and all this sort of thing. You don't realize, see? So all of a sudden it hits you and you weren't prepared. And it's the same with business. All of a sudden, you know, you might just experience things like getting short of breath, because when I lost everything in Florida, I remember when I used to drive along, I'd be singing, and all of a sudden I couldn't get the notes that I've been singing weeks before when I was singing certain songs. You know, I love Elvis. I'll be singing that, and then I noticed I couldn't get the notes out, and I thought, what the hell was that? I didn't realize it was the stress starting. That was a sign to look out for, and loads of others that I can tell you about, so that it prepares you. Then symptoms start coming, you can start making sure you take basic action by you know, getting some exercise, getting out walking, talking to other people, because men especially keep it all bottled in, and that's why they have a real bad time. You know, there's so much involved in business. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's just replied back, your mate Steve. He said yes from Clacton. It is the same one.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no.
See that, Steve? Paul didn't even think you were going to watch today.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
So, I don't know if he's got businesses you can plug for him or.
No, I don't think he has. I know he's a hard worker and he does untold stuff. But anyway, that's up to him. I'm not going to because I'm not 100% sure what he's doing.
Yes,
right.
have you got anything else you want to add to the people? Anything you want to say or anything?
Really, just saying. Like I said, I'm always here to help people. You know, that's a big part for what I'm doing and how I've grown and developed. You know what I mean? Yeah, and just to let Steve know that I've got permission to turn the tower into a wedding venue, so that's really exciting in Clacton. And another good thing that I'm going to be doing, you know, looking as long as we get it all done, is to get everybody to the tower, shows and networking with all of our customers. So I can invite customers from the Cardiff, from Peter, from London, from Ipswich, and Suffolk, and Essex, and whatnot, to come there and do massive networking. I want to get some real big networking groups going. I also belong to a group called Your Partnership, which is a fantastic networking group if you can join it. And it's not just it's all around the UK. Every single day they have massive networking groups. The guy that runs it is a guy called Brock, a really great guy. He's actually from Orlando, but he lives in the UK now, and he runs that. It's called Your Partnership, a fantastic networking group. And the great thing about that is every single day they'll have one in South East London, they'll have one in Essex, they'll have one here, one there, and also all around the world. So he'll have them in Australia and America. And I know that won't concern a lot of people, but for certain other businesses, it really does. So I can plug that. Your Partnership, a great networking group to join.
No, because I think your tower thing really. Not only can you do like the network events for your things to do in people, you can even start hosting like they do at the Excel Centre. Host your own business things there, where people can actually they can come and actually do talks and how they started in business, how they didn't. You can use that as a thing, and people can just buy a ticket and just listen.
No, we're going to be doing conferences, networking, and training. There's also going to be fright nights, escape from the tower, medieval nights, all them sort of things. But it's going to be predominantly a wedding venue. So you know, that's what we're hoping for, and you know, that should be a real big boost to tendering as well for people coming to tendering and Clacton. You know, as another place for them to go and that. So you know, because Clacton's really coming up. You know, there's no doubt about it. It's, if you see what they've done on Clacton Pier now, the largest pleasure pier in Europe, 6.5 acres. And the guy that owns that is a guy called Billy Ball and his brother Elliot Ball, and they've spent millions on it, and it is absolutely fantastic. Can't wait till that opens up in a few months' time or a couple of months' time. So, and remember, everyone's going to be staying at home this year. You know what I mean? Staycation's going to be the big thing. So, hopefully, everyone's getting prepared for that.
Yeah, because obviously, like, because it won, but wasn't it last year best pier, Clacton?
Yeah, it did.
Because Mr. Brett went there and said it was
Pier of the year.
Pier of the year. Yeah,
that's right.
We won the biggest beer garden of the year, Hastings, but you won the. You know,
they spent absolute fortunes on it, and you know, it's a great place. And there's lots of other things in Clacton, you know. So yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Well, Paul, we've got the last 2 minutes, matey. Then I'm going to have to cut it off because they cut you off afterwards.
That's all right. That's fine, mate.
Then we lose it.
Too long anyway.
And obviously, don't forget, guys, as well. Follow him on Instagram as well. Paul Peter Nash as well, because sometimes we go live on that as well. Sometimes as well. So we target the Instagram. Some people don't like Facebook; they only like Instagram. So we do Instagram as well sometimes as well. So feel free to follow Paul on that and all his social medias. And all his links are scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So you can see the website, phone number, email, they're all there. Yes, I've sneaked my one in as well. But
why not? Why not? Wait, it's all about marketing and
anyway, Paul, it's my show anyway.
I know it is. I know it's your show. That's right. Yeah. No doubt about it. You know.
No, but apart from that, it's more Paul's show because I'm just an aide so he can come on and share his business, like all my other guests.
Yeah. No, that's it.
It's someone who says, so it's your platform. You're just using my technology to go on it.
Yeah.
Because it's StreamYard.
I
But
like to say for you, John. Listen, you know, I've said this to you before. You know, the one thing I've got to take my hat off to you. I won't take it off now. I'll show a bald head. But what I was going to say is, you know, you are a right good entrepreneur. You're always. I've never known anyone working as hard as you that I know. You know, every minute you're working. I can bring up 11 o'clock at night. You're on the phone to some business. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're on your LinkedIn. You're on. You know, so you've got it. You know, you've got that work ethic, and that's the 90% of it. Because a lot of people come up with great ideas, but they haven't got that work ethic. It means getting up early and working till late at night, and it's like 7 days a week. Everyone wants to play, but if you're really into business and that's your kick, you've got to put the time in, and you've got that plenty of it. And you know, and it's the hard work that gets you there. You know, it's even if you've got a great idea, a great product, and a great service, without that hard work,
you got nothing.
Honestly, that's what it's about. It's trying to get a combination of all 3 or 4, and then it all fits in.
No, it's true, because like if you the way I look at it is, and I'll always live by this. My dad told me this before he died. He said, if you work hard, then when you got it to where you want it, you can start relaxing a bit. You've done the hard work. The hard graft is done. Isn't it? It's just like when you build the wall, you put the concrete, you build it up. Once it's up, it's up. Same as business. When you build things to do and to where you want it, you ain't got to go so hard, because you've already built it to where as far as you can take it.
Yeah, but saying that,
by then, you'd have a team of people around you anyway working for you anyway.
Yeah, it's all about delegation. If you can delegate, you know, and that's why that's why I'm doing the franchises, really. So we've got other people helping us, and that's the thing. They're making money, we're making money, we're helping the businesses, and it's all about delegation. But to tell you the truth, I'm never going to be that person who's going to go and have that 2 weeks holiday and lay on the beach. It's never going to happen. I actually get a buzz from working hard. So you know, I've got a couple of other businesses, as you know, and you know, I'm working with them as well. I'm you know, always at it because I enjoy it. A lot of people say this to me, and it might happen. They say, "Paul, you're going to have a heart attack. You know, you're working too much. You're working too much." But when I'm working, it's happiness for me. I enjoy it. You know, and if anything happens, it happens. But you know, I actually enjoy it. So I'm not, you know, stressing myself out and you know, running a business and going, oh no, and biting it, no, and always like that. I'm always happy.
Seriously, I was like you in the past. The amount of businesses that I've over 10 years have started, they've failed. Because I tried rushing them. Then I realised you can't rush business. You have to take your time. You can't go. People. I always thought years ago, this business idea, I'm going to be a billionaire in 1 year. It doesn't work like that. You got to put the foundation first.
That's right.
That's right. And that's why I take my time.
And it can still fail. You know, even with the right foundations and the right this and the right that, many businesses have just not took off. You know what I'm saying? It's hard work, man. You know what kung fu means? This is another thing I always mention about kung fu, but actually kung fu, the definition of that is hard work. And great skill. There's 2 definitions for the word kung fu. It's hard work and great skill. So you know, in China, if someone's mixing a dough and throwing it up and catching it and spinning it around and cooking it and all that, that's a great skill and hard work. That's what it means. Because you're good at kung fu or martial arts or anything, golf, whatever it is, there's a lot of hard work and dedication goes into it, and that's what you've got to do with business. So you know, as far as I'm concerned, every business is kung fu because it's hard work, dedication, and great skill. You're building that skill all the time in your product or service to get better and better. You know what I mean? Anything that don't work, you leave behind. Everything that's working, you expand on. And that's how you grow your business. You've got to keep developing it all the time. You've got to be a thinker. You've got to be a worker. And once you get them attributes to yourself, sky's the limit. You know what I mean?
Yes. Someone's just inboxed me and said, I've just seen your post for your live video feed with Paul Nash on LinkedIn. Because I shared this on LinkedIn. So there's a couple of people who are tuning in now from LinkedIn. They're listening.
Oh, brilliant.
I don't know who they are. So guys, if you want to just put your name at the bottom, then I'll make sure before Paul goes, he gives you a shout out as well before he goes. I'll say thank you and that stuff. Because the way I look at it is, it's not just the guest I have to thank. I have to thank the viewers as well, because if they don't tune in, there's no show.
Yeah, that's
We
right.
need their participation to fire the questions at you or fire them at me, so I relate them to you. Because that's why people say, why do you thank the viewers? I say, I thank the viewers because if it wasn't for them, my guests wouldn't have nobody to talk to.
That's
And they
right.
certainly don't want to talk to me constantly. Paul gets enough of talking to me on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes I feel like I'm his wife. But I'm just saying, yeah, right?
It's
If it
recorded.
wasn't for the viewers, we'd be nothing. So I've got to thank them too.
Is this actually recorded? This can you see this show again, or have you got it recorded?
Yeah, once I end it, it'll be on YouTube, and then it'll be on Instagram. I'm gonna basically when it does it on live, it saves to my phone. I can then put it on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, send it to you, YouTube. By 9 o'clock, it'll be everywhere. So I'll get you a copy of it as well. So then you can use it for promotional stuff and.
How long we've been doing this for now?
Right, 1 hour exactly. Right, somebody called Billy Rumry said, "Hello, Paul and John." He's my friend from Hastings.
Hi, Billy.
He's a steward. He works for Hastings United Football Club. Nice guy. Hi, Billy.
We'll have to get them on. Let's get that football club on. Let's talk to the marketing person when you launch things to do in Hastings, because John is launching things to do in Hastings very soon. We've just had things to do in Great Yarmouth just go live this week. Hastings will be in the next few weeks, and also someone's just took things to do in Bournemouth. So we've got quite a few seaside towns coming up with the franchise now. You know, so that's good. And like I said, there's a lady taking things to do in Milton Keynes, which we're really excited about as well. So I've got someone else who's interested in Bicester. So you know, it's really really kicking in now. So yes.
Yeah. And also because I know on my Facebook I've got a few journalists and actors pages and stuff like that. Paul does act as well. So if you need any extras on the actors, give Paul a shout as well because he does that as well. I'm not going to bore you to death with he's been in too many films now. You'll be here all week, so it's pointless. But I just want someone to say one thing to you, Paul. Like before we go, thank you for coming on, and it's been an honour to actually have you share your story. That even if I always look at it, if you help, even if it just helped one person, you've done your job. You know what I mean? So I think
there anyway. Anyone call me anytime, and I'm always happy to have a chat. You know what I'm saying? So you know, no problem at all. Don't anyone feel any way. Always feel good to call me because
just don't call him at midnight because he's in bed.
That's right. That's right. I'll probably be working still at that time, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I just want to say a big thank you to you, Paul, mate. And
you're welcome. Great. I really enjoyed the show, and you know, it's good talking.
So you're up for doing that then?
Pardon?
You up for doing that then? Once every 2 weeks, we'll get you on to host your own show. Basically, it'll be on this program, but instead of me being like that, it'll just
okay. That's a live demo. I feel all nervous now, John. You've gone.
Yeah. So have you got anything you want to say to your viewer? We've had a total of 56 viewers tonight. So have you got anything you want to say to them for tuning in?
I'm just saying, guys, if anyone is starting a business and that, you know, do that research. You know, research your products and your service, whatever it's going to be. Make sure you get some advice from people that have already been doing that. If you need any help with our marketing and advertising, which I think is the best, and that's what I really do believe, you're welcome to give me a call as well for any businesses, or if you know any business that are interested. If you know anyone who might want to take a franchise in any town, city, or country, let me know. Give us a chat. But you know, I'm also a person that wants to make sure that everybody earns. So you know, if someone introduces me to a business, they're going to get a nice introductory fee. If someone introduces me to a franchisee, they're going to get a nice introductory fee. So it's all about swings and roundabouts and that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're here to help and grow businesses. And if anyone needs any advice, give me a call.
Yeah, because what I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to say this as well live on air, so Paul can't say I'm lying, or the viewers can't say that I'm lying. as everyone, well, Paul knows and everyone else knows, I started a company that helps people go self-employed, as you know. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, because I've been looking for business mentors, I'm going to list you on there as a business mentor for Essex. That means you cover Clacton, like all. You can be the Essex. You can be the Essex business mentor. I'll list you on there as that. So then people just contact you to do a business. That way they can see it. I've got a few I'm adding on today from like Scotland and London and here. You could just look after the Essex for me. You can
Fine,
do
that's
that.
fine.
Everyone just goes straight to you, and that's it. You know, if you're in agreement with that, you know,
That's
and then
fine.
because then it links it in, then and then people can see you from that. Yeah, but I would stress though. I leave one thing. Just make sure, guys, that you only ring in for business or any mental health issues. Don't just ring him up like prank calling and all doing stuff. Because I've been experiencing that recently. People just calling my number off the sites and just prank calling or texting or random. Only contact Paul if it's for like business
You
or
realise you've just given everybody an idea now, didn't you?
what to prank call you.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, only call Paul basically if you want money, right? You started then Paul Nash Bank.
Okay. Don't worry about that. All right, John.
No, Paul. Thanks, mate. God bless you, mate. Yeah, thanks,
You
mate.
too. It's great. Thank you very much. Speak
Thank
to
you,
soon.
buddy. Right, keep on the screen, Paul. Keep on the screen.